And what is up, my magic miscreants? Risen Dragon here with yet another fun deck tech for you today. And today we're looking at mono green artifacts. Yeah, mono green artifacts. I kid you not. This is actually a pretty boss deck. And let me get into a few reasons why. Because this deck goes big, goes wide, and it's just a really fun deck to play. And it centers a lot around some of the lesser utilized cards in the sets. So let's get to it. It is mostly an aggro type build. So we start off with Haywire Might. When it dies, you gain 2 life. We sack it, exile target non-artifact or non-creature artifact or non-creature enchantment. Okay, pretty cool. We're running Teething Wormlet. So long as it has, we have 3 or more artifacts, it has Death Touch. When an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. If it's the first time this ability has resolved this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it. We're running 4 Ginger Brutes. Love this card. Okay, can't be blocked by creatures this turn except by creatures with haste with 1. Plus we can tap 2 and tap it, and we gain 3 life. Elvish Archivist. Now this is another interesting card. Whenever 1 or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control, that's important, not casting the spell. But you put 2 +1/+1 counters on Elvish Artifact. This ability triggers only once each turn. Whenever 1 or more enchantments enter the battlefield under your control, we draw a card. This ability only triggers once each turn. So that is a fun card to have in hand. We are running 3 Gala Greeters. We know what this does. We put a +1/+1 counter on it, create a tap creature token, or we gain 2 life. We choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Tough Cookie. When it enters the battlefield, create a food token. 2 and a green, and target non-creature artifact. I'll get it right one of these days. You control becomes a 4/4 artifact creature until the end of turn. Tap 2 and tap it and sack it, and we gain 3 life. And we create food tokens. We're running Urza's Battlethopter. Now, you may cast colorless and artifact spells as though they had flash. Now, we are running a bunch of artifact spells here. Let's see, we're running quite a few. So, and that too. So we can flash this in whenever we flash stuff in whenever we want. Whenever you cast a spell, if the amount of mana spent to cast that spell is greater than Liberator Urza's Battlethopter's power, put a +1/+1 counter on Liberator. Okay, so this can get big and it can get big fast. We're running 4 Knight of the Sweet's Revenge. When it enters the battlefield under your control, of course it'd be under our control. Why wouldn't it be? Brain's not working at this hour. Create a food token. Foods you control have tap and add a mana. Now, for 5 and 2 green, we sacrifice Knight of Sweet's Revenge, and creatures you control get +X/+X till end of turn, where X is the number of foods you control. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay, so our creatures can get, you can go wide with this deck, and we get big. Roaming Throne. Now, this is interesting because we're running 2 food golems, 2 elves, and 2 worms to go along with this. So, or 2 types, I should say. So, as it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Roaming Throne is the chosen type in addition to its other types. If a triggered ability of another creature you control of the chosen type triggers, it triggers an additional time. You can have so much fun with this deck, with this card, and I really hope that it hits the battlefield in our games here. So we'll see what happens. Plus it has Ward 2, so you can't get rid of it easily. And we're running 3 Defiler of Vigas. As an additional cost to cast green permanent spells, you may pay 2 life. They cost 1 less green to cast if you paid life this way. And whenever you cast a green permanent spell, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So, fun stuff. We're not running Cavern of Echoes in this build because where we are running, artifact creatures and golems, and oh yeah, that's also a golem too, so we might want to add some in. I think I might do that. I think I might take out a forest, a demolition field, and a field of ruin and put in the Cavern of Echoes after we're done. So that's what we are running. We're also running Mishra's Foundry. Sideboard, now mono green, I always don't know how to sideboard because we don't have a lot of access to removal. So we go with Bushwhack, which can fight and retrieve lands. Tamio Safekeeping to keep us well safe. Atraxas Fall to get rid of battles, enchantments, creatures with flying. Plummets just creatures with flying. Thresh and Brontodon. Destroying target enchantments. Fade from History. This seems like redundant in this deck. It seems like it works against us, but if we're up against a similar build with a heavy artifact, then we gotta put this in. And also, we're sideboarding Titan of Industry. It probably should be a main board, but we're running it just simply because, depends on what we're up against. So we all know what this bad boy does. Destroy target enchantment. Gain 5 life, create a 4/4 green rhino, or put a shield counter on a target creature you control. So this is our mono green artifacts build. I've been seeing like Simic artifacts going in, and I like mono green. I like artifact builds, so let's try to combine the two. If you are new to my channel, we do a best of 1 and we do a best of 3, so you can see how the deck functions in either one of those environments. So without further ado, let's get to the mono green artifact games. We are against Rocker FCC for our best of 1 matchup. We are on the play. Hey, check it out. So let's hit him with a Ginger Brute. Let's hit him with a Gala Greeters, and then a Tough Cookie, and we'll go from there. See what happens. Okay, interesting. Gala Greeters comes next. Boom. Teething Wormlet is fun. Let's do a treasure token. And into a Tough Cookie. Gain some life. Put a +1/+1 counter on that. And we swing. Boom. Okay. We're in GRUUL, so that means... Okay, Brotherhood's End. There's got to be a Brotherhood's End here. Fight rigging, huh? It's one of those decks, huh? Well, I'm guessing you got something big, like a pugnacious... something. Let's turn that into something. Let's swing. Wow. Okay. Well... That's fun. Dinosaur, huh? Yep, there's your Pugnacious Hammerskull. Do you have an Atali? Yep, you do. Okay, fun. Okay, you got a Wormlet and a Lore Keeper. Okay. Well, I think no matter what, you're dead. So, check that out. Alright, so let's do this. Turn this into that. Oh, nuts, but I can't. Alright, well, that's alright. We'll just swing in. Okay. Okay. Do we get... Nah, we don't quite get... Oh, no, we do get them. We do get them. Unless they've got to play with fire. Oh, wait, we got him! Oh my gosh! Alright, let's go the best of 3. We are against Wolf Woods for our best of 3 matchup. I cannot believe... Alright, this is not too bad either. We got some fun stuff here. Wormlet... Gala Greeters. Might be a bit on the slow side, but... No, that might be alright. Okay, we against Domain? Maybe. And down we go. Maybe not. Jund? Domain. Alright, this is a tough matchup for us. But, if we do this, put a +1/+1 on that. Creates a food. swings. We might be able to erase them. Leyline Binding, I'm guessing, is next. No, another up the beanstalk. Okay. Alright, so we might get a... Oh, no. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Treasure token. Swing. That way now we can ramp into some stuff. Okay, do you have something to take care of my stuff? Invasion of Zendikar. Okay, we might get them here. I think we get them. Okay. This is really cool. Alright. Alright, so we go at least 2 and 2 with this deck tonight. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Let's see. Part of me wants to... Alright, I'm gonna do something really weird here. I'm going to take out 2 of these. I'm gonna put in... Okay, Fade from History. Because they're running your ley lines and your enchantments and stuff, I'm gonna put 2 of those in. So, it's gonna screw us a little bit, but I think that if we're up against a domain build, that we have to at least take that into consideration. So, they're going to be more than likely on the play. So, running that 4-color domain. This gets a bit interesting as well. Not as fast as I'd like, but we can play with this. So put on the Archivist and then into a tough cookie. Up the beanstalk, okay. A lot of cookies here. You gonna go for the throat? Counter it. Creates a food. That's fun. You've got something up your sleeve. It's gotta be a go for the throat. It's gotta be. No? Alright. Fun. Zendikar, maybe? Up the beanstalk. Okay. So you gotta be waiting for a leyline binding. You've gotta have one of those. Do we get greedy here? Yeah, we have to get greedy here. Put down the Archivist again. Tough cookie. You're gonna have to leyline bind the Elvish Archivist. You're gonna have to. Maybe not. Swing. Where's your leyline binding? Show me. Show me. There it is. Yep. There it is. I've said this once, and yes, this is a salty take, but when you're playing net decks at a bronze level, it's kind of like finding your father's firearm, and just, yeah, I don't know. Like, to me, it just, this level is all about experimentation and playing, you know, kind of your own thing, but to each their own. That's fine. I'll get salty. I don't care. So, tough cookie, huh? But here's the thing about tough cookie, is now you can, we're going to get to a point where we can start turning these into treasures. And that's going to get fun. I don't even think we play the tough cookie, because we do want to put that into play. Right here. And we swing. Don't quite have enough to get them. And I know we're going to get Sunfalled here, but kind of just is what it is at this point. Yeah. Alright, you know, we're going to say good game, and we're going to move on to the next one. And again, this deck, you've got to be on the play. Like, I really do think you have to be on the play with this deck. That's fine. We go at least 2-2 with this build, and I'm happy with that. At least you get to see what it did in that first game. Man, this deck is surprisingly fast. Too much there. Alright, as much as I hate to ditch... Actually, I think here we ditch the Kodama, because that just... I think we had to ditch the Kodama. We didn't have a choice. We have to get down the Haywire Might, because... we had to get the Haywire Might down, because if they cast up the Beanstalk or Leyline Binding, then we have to be able to respond to that. Teething Wormlet's fun. Let's go with a Golem. Depopulate. Of course you did. Alright. Well. You can put down 2 Teething Wormlets, I guess. And we'll just have to go from there. Sunfall, maybe? Good game. Alright, let's go to the post-game analysis here. Okay, so you saw with that build, this can actually be really, really fun and fast, surprisingly fast, especially in that best of 1 match. And again, against Domain, yes, got a little bit salty, and I apologize for that. Just one of those things where it's like, you know, you're a bronze level player and you're playing net decks. At this level, at that level, you should just be experimenting. That's the way I see it. But to each their own, you know, that's totally fine. But with this deck, you really want to make sure you get this on the field, make sure you get these 2 going. This is a great addition because we can ramp into stuff, and it's just a really, really, really fun deck to play. So if you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a subscribe, and as always, my magic miscreants, may you always be on the play, and may all your spells hit the board. Risen Dragon is out. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.